Hey, good evening, everyone. I am Jeff Boyle, and we are with Heather Eastman. Say hi, Heather.
Hi, everyone.
We're coming to you from our locked down homes as we're in this. I hope the final days of the virus. But I've known Heather for years. She was actually my first personal trainer, and I guess that was in 2007. So
Yeah,
I've
that's a
known you
while
for
ago.
13 years. But Heather currently works from everybody from bodybuilding.com to a yoga instructor to a personal trainer to a fitness instructor. She's truly a who's who in the fitness world, and she's done very well for herself professionally. And I'm super thrilled to have her on with me tonight. So welcome to Own
Yeah,
Life.
I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, I'm going to start it off tonight, and as I start it off, I'll give you the quote, and then we'll just kind of talk through it. Because what we're talking about is when you own your life, you own your time, you own your money, you own your body. In other words, you have the time and money to do what you want when you want to do it, and your health allows you to do so. And so, as I go through this, my guests, I kind of ask them what it is that is their topic of success and how it fits into that faith, family, fitness, and finances. I guess you can see already the angle that Heather will come from with that. But I'm going to show you one of my favorite quotes from a guy who I think is truly cool, Heather. This is the best one I could find from him, and I truly love what he has to say with it, which is the most important thing in your life is your health and your body. You can have all the education and you can have millions of dollars in the bank, but if you've got headaches every day, if you're fat and you're out of shape, what good is your money? Your health account and your bank account build them both up. And with that, Heather, I'll ask you. It's like, how is it that you define success? And was Jack too unpolitically correct for today's time, or what do you think about
Not
that,
at
by the way?
all. Not at all. Jack was ahead of his time. He really kind of got this concept that success is not just how much money you have in the bank. Success is not just how big and powerful you are, how big and powerful your bank account is. If you have all that wealth, but you don't have the health to enjoy it, then what good is wealth, really? I mean, all you're doing is socking away money to take care of you when you're sick and tired and broken down at the end of your life. And that's not really what success is about. Success is about being able to enjoy the freedom of having a healthy body and having a healthy lifestyle. And where I really empathize with that is he talks about building up his bank account and building up your health account. And anyone who's built up their account, and I'm sure you can relate to this, Jeff, anyone who's built up their bank account and worked on building wealth, it's a daily endeavor. It's not a 6 weeks and done, 12 weeks and done, 6 months and done. It's something that you have to commit to every single day. And health is the same way. If you want to be in shape, it's not, go do one workout and that's it. It's every day you're investing in your health, just like every day you invest in your wealth. And that's, once you kind of get that connection between finances and health, it actually gets a lot easier.
Yeah, no question with it. And I'll give you a little bit more background of just uh, of where we go back to 2007. So you were a trainer at Gold's Gym at the time,
Yes.
and we hired you, and there was five of us, and there was a day where it was only me. I think we were in our fourth week of it,
Mhm.
and it was leg day. And after about 20 minutes, you put me on the seated leg press, and I passed out.
Yes.
I passed out. And about 3 weeks before that, you told me I had the body, at the time I was 36, and you told me I had the body of a 52-year-old man. I'll have to admit that hurt. And then about 3 weeks later, you proved it as I passed out on the bench or on the leg press, and I didn't come back for another 6 weeks. But it was a really perfect example of a lot of what we're talking about. And that's why I emphasize it so much, that it's not just about making the money. At that time, I was traveling the world. I'd been all over the place, but I was finding that it was all about the business and it wasn't about a well-rounded life. And you fast forward to 2 years ago, where there at bodybuilding.com, you asked me, it was a huge honor for me. It was a huge honor that you asked me. Of course, it was the ageless lifter, which means it's the dudes over 40. But you asked me to come in, and I was the I don't even know what you call it, the dude in the
You were the
pictures.
model. You
There
are a
you
fitness
go,
model.
the fitness model. So you fast forward that, and I completely revamped my life. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are like me, that are emphasizing their career, they're emphasizing doing all of that. And I think you see a lot because you do a lot of the writing. What are some of the questions that some of these former athletes are asking about success when they write in that you guys respond to them?
Well, about success, I mean, it's obviously our job is very geared towards fitness. I work at bodybuilding.com as a content editor, and people are always asking about what do I need to do to get in shape? And whenever I see that question, I have to chuckle a little bit because I can ask any person on the street, how does someone lose weight? How does someone get in shape? And they can tell me. So we all know it's, eat less, move more. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very simple equation. But what they're really asking is, how can I continue doing what I'm doing and get the results that I
Yeah,
want? That's what they're asking me.
yeah.
So what I tell people when they start talking about, man, if I hired you, you could help me get in shape, lose weight, no problem. And kind of what I tell them is like, okay, well, what are you willing to change? Because something has to change if you want to see a different result. Because if you do the same thing, you're going to get the same result.
Yeah.
And so usually whenever I get the answer, well, how do I get in shape? How do I train for a competition? How do I build muscle? What I kind of turn that back around on them and ask is, what are you willing to change to get there? That's what I always hear.
And it's pretty interesting is you and I were talking before. I gave you a call to see if you'd come on and talk with me. And the body is one of the few things that you can guarantee results. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, oh, that's not true. And I got my, I'm this attorney that does business, that got my personal training certification because I like it, right? And I think that, as I gave advice to friends and family, and as you go through it, there's a really key point is, who is it that's going to actually do what we suggest, right? So it really is, the body's a miraculous thing with it, and some bodies are different, but the number one thing is people aren't as unique as they think, right? That the body is
Yeah,
very predictable,
it
no
is.
matter how unique that person thinks they are.
Right. Well, and as you referenced, we were talking about this earlier, and it's an equation, calories in, calories out. And I hate when people boil it down because it's not an exact science. I mean, obviously there's different types of
Right.
calories. We're not even going to get into that right now, but if you simplify it, it really is an equation. And the best way to tie it into something that some of our viewers might understand is if you think about compound interest.
Mm.
Compound interest works the same way. It's a fixed thing. You know that if you put money in, it's going to grow and grow and grow. Well, your body is based on the same laws of physics. Calories in, calories out, the law of thermodynamics. If you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you will lose weight. So
Yeah.
whenever someone comes to me and they say, I'm doing everything right and I'm not losing weight, I say, well, then you're not doing everything right.
Yeah.
That's like saying to me, I'm making money, but I don't have any money at the end of the day. It's like, well, you either have to spend less or make more. Those are your two choices.
Well, that's for sure. And to kind of wrap it up with it, I think that, as we were talking through this, uh, the body, to me, is the ultimate indicator of a person's ability to succeed in so many different areas of life. It really is. It's the discipline. It's that competitive nature to be able to improve and to not be satisfied with where you're at. So how would you say it? And you're around some of the most amazing athletes in the world with what you do, and you can see that some of them have turned into extremely successful business people as a result of this discipline that they've been able to show in their younger years with their body. How would you compute the ability to control your body, to control what you eat, to control your time so you can invest in it to success with what you've seen these amazing people that you deal with?
That's a really good question, Jeff. And it's hard to put into words the feeling that you get from feeling good every day. You wake up and you don't have pain. You wake up and you can breathe easy. You wake up and you have energy. I mean, these are things that, if you're fit and healthy, you take for granted. Maybe when you were 18 years old and still in high school, you took that for granted. But as soon as you get to 35, 40, 45, 50, all of a sudden you're waking up and you hurt. You're waking up and it's hard to breathe. You're waking up and you have no energy. And fitness really is, and exercising really is the way to reverse that and turn back that clock. And so if you want success, think about what you need to wake up and go after it every day. Think about what you need to be able to make phone calls and show up for meetings and do the work. You need energy. You need to feel good. You need to be in it. And if you are distracted by pain, you're distracted by health issues, or you're distracted by just being so preoccupied with your body breaking down, then how are you going to possibly be able to devote any time or energy to these other things that are important? It all starts with how you feel and how your body operates. And again, going back to the very beginning, you can build all the wealth in the world that you want, but if you can't physically enjoy it, then what good is it to you? It all starts with right here with your body.
Well, this really is a success show, I guess, if you will, is that we're starting with this. And there's no one part of our existence that's more important than the other. The mind, the body, and the soul. If you neglect one, you're neglecting the overall success. And I really believe, and I'm grateful that you had come on. You've always been a mentor, and you've always been super important in just your vision of the success. And really, I credit you a lot with some of you never shamed me, but it was pretty humiliating for a CEO of a company to pass out and to have to beg forgiveness to leave. But the reality is that it really gave me the impetus to go out and to make changes in my life, to find a more well-rounded existence. And so thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for helping me pass out in the chair.
It wasn't intentional, but it was absolutely my pleasure. And anytime.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for being on, and I'll talk to you soon, Heather.